Hey guys, Lost here. Now if you haven't noticed, a lot of new information has come out on Fallout 76 recently on top of what has already been released. So in this video, I wanted to tell you 10 things I think you should know about Fallout 76 and possibly answer some questions you might already have. Some information might be more important than others, but nonetheless, here we go. So in Fallout 4, of course, you can go anywhere, and after you leave the vault, you can even return to it if you wanted to. However, in Fallout 76, once you leave the vault, it is permanent. Now, is that the biggest deal in the world? No, maybe not, but it makes you kind of wonder why they wanted to do this. I would think it's because, well, that's where new players spawn, and they don't want higher-level players going back there and messing it up and maybe just camping it when people spawn in. I'd also be curious as to how they'd facilitate that in-game. Would you have to escape the vault somehow, and would they have it destroyed? You know, I'm not exactly sure. All I know is that you won't be able to go back once you leave. Up next might be slightly more exciting. Fallout 76 will have, quote, free updates for years to come. Now, what exactly those free updates will be, I'm not exactly sure, and I don't think that information is quite out yet. But from what they've said, it seems like they want to bring out this game's lifespan as long as they can with continually giving players new content that they can enjoy. My guess would be new types of gear would be added, different types of world events. For the most part, I'm not too worried. I'm actually kind of excited because Bethesda, being such a large company, I think they can afford to push out free content for players that is at least good quality that everybody can enjoy. Now at number 3, we kind of get to a subject that not a lot of people enjoy, and that is microtransactions. In Fallout 76, there are going to be microtransactions, however, they will only be for cosmetic items. Now I think most players can agree that the word microtransactions kind of gives people a bad taste in their mouth, and yeah, me too. Though yes, it is only for cosmetic items and it won't really affect how the game's played, I come from the standpoint where how I look, I want it to display what I've done in the game. If I'm rocking a cool piece of gear, I want to be able to walk around and show people, and they can see that I've done a lot of things, that I'm a higher level player, and that I have a reason for looking just awesome. So let's say I'm a high level and I go out, do a quest and get a really cool piece of gear, but some lower level guy goes and buys a cooler piece of gear at the store. Now this low level guy looks way better than me and he didn't even do the work. However, that's just my standpoint. At least this game won't be pay to win. Now at number 4, player count. There will be a 24 player count limit on the servers. Now I'm not sure if that number is ever going to change, but as of right now, that is the number that they have said. And to me, that's kind of a low number. However, I think I know what they're going for. Obviously, with almost all of their titles being solo single-player games, they want you to be able to play single-player without having players constantly pushed into your face. However, if you do want to enjoy running around with your pals and encountering new people, there's plenty of people on the server for you to do that. So if you thought this was going to be like an MMORPG, then you're mistaken. At number 5, leveling. Now obviously in Fallout there's going to be some type of leveling mechanic. Obviously it's going to be different with all of this multiplayer now. In Fallout 76, the level cap is sort of 50. Each stat will be capped at 15, however there won't be any points rewarded after 50, but you will still get perk cards after 50. I know some games don't offer level cap, which is kind of cool because then people can just level and level and level, and it really shows how much work they've put into the game, but it is nice to have a set goal that you can work to and achieve. Because then you can get a character as powerful as you want them to be, reach the cap, and then say, okay, I'm going to start a new character, and then you can work on them for a while. For me, knowing that there's some sort of end game does kind of make me appreciate the time I spend leveling up, and I suppose 50 is not a bad number to stop. At number 6, Bethesda has said that Fallout 76 will be entirely online. Now I know that's really strange to hear. How can a Fallout game be only online? Well, don't worry. Bethesda has said they will definitely put in private servers. Their problem is they have to figure out how can you mod that while also playing online. Now to put your fears to rest, this is what Bethesda has to say. It's something that, given the online nature of it, is going to be very, very complicated. But we're committed to it, and we've been starting to design what the system is going to look like. It's a complicated problem, but one that we are 100% committed to solving. Now that is about as straightforward as you can get on that answer. Now number 7 involves base building. Now in Fallout 76, obviously being multiplayer, you'll be able to cooperatively build bases with your friends. You can then share those bases and defend them with your teammates. So that means you could probably get some pretty awesome bases if you really work on it. However, Bethesda did say if you were to connect your two separate bases and one player were to log off, it would take your base with them. So I'm not exactly sure how that's going to work. We might have to find out, and I'm sure more information may come out about that in the future. However, I for one am extremely excited to see what kind of absolutely absurd bases players are going to come up with. Now, you'll have to come up with what you think on this one by yourself, but there will be no dialogue system in Fallout 76. Going further into that, obviously you won't have a voiced protagonist, but there won't be any voice conversations really at all. For the most part, what it sounds like is they're only going to voice robots and no humans. With this being a heavily multiplayer game, that's not the craziest route for them to take. However, with it being such an also single-player centered game, it's kind of an odd thing to do. However, I'll give my opinion more about this maybe some other time. There will definitely be voices in the game. It's not like there's no speech at all. It just won't really be a large focus of the game. At number 9, there will be different level zones, which means when you start off as a new player, there'll be some places that may not be impossible to get to, but some that will be way more challenging than others. However, there will probably be more loot to match that level. So some more skilled players might be able to risk it for a biscuit and get some better gear if they're willing to go in the more dangerous areas. Now at number 10, a rather important piece of information, map size. Of course, size doesn't always matter, but in this case it sure does. Fallout 76's map will be 4 times larger than Fallout 4. Now with 24 players at max running around the map, I think that's a pretty good dispersal of the population. Just enough to get some alone time, but not so much that you'll be able to let your guard down. Plus, with what they said is going to be an amazing amount of content, I'm relatively optimistic. So we are getting to the end here. I just wanted to make a quick video to really highlight a couple things I wanted to share with you guys and thought that it would be pretty cool to know. So thank you guys for watching. I see some Fallout mod reviews in our future. Hope you guys enjoyed. I will see you guys later.